My name is Christoph Jones, and this is going to be the pilot for a show I'm going to be calling Records. No one gets into the record collecting game because they kind of like music. Recently, somebody asked me what kind of guy I was, and I was like, "What do you mean, what kind of guy am I?" And I didn't have an answer for him at the beginning, but as soon as I got away from the situation and had time to think, I was like, "Oh, I'm a music guy. I collect records because I love music. I enjoyed listening to music on my stereo at home on a vinyl record, and the reason I do is because I have to stop what I'm doing and just enjoy the album. I love my phone so much. I love having a billion songs and being in my car and listening or out on a jog or whatever and having my headphones in. That's great. But what always ends up happening is I skip just a million times. I have a ritual, and when I'm able to do that ritual, I really can sink into an album and listen to it front to back without even blinking. When it's too convenient, I'm just like, I don't really like this song as much as I like the track before it, so I'm just gonna skip it. I might as well put it on shuffle, because there's nothing better than listening to Drake and then listening to Converge, back to back. That's a great feeling. But when it comes to the ritual of being home and listening to an album and the warmth of my stereo and all those things, that's how I really enjoy music. And so I collect records because I enjoy music. I want to tell a story, and I feel like the story will maybe explain why in the world I would ever want to make a stupid YouTube channel show thing. I'm at summer camp, church camp, and I'm from a super tiny little town. I had very limited access to music outside of whatever was on radio stations that I happened to be lucky enough to pick up. There certainly wasn't a radio station in my city that had music I was listening to. Church camp, right? Here I am, farm kid, at this point I had been buying CDs and stuff, but mostly they were soundtracks and stuff. I mean, the first CD I ever bought was the soundtrack to Space Jam. Great movie, great soundtrack. I became friends with this super cool, way ahead of me cat named Tyson. He was just cool. I looked up to him. In that friendship, I guess he, felt like, he's going to impart some knowledge to me. So there we are. We're at our bunks, and dude was like, "Okay, man, I got something you need to listen to." And I was like, "Okay." Puts the headphones on me, breaks open his little portable CD player, and pops in an album. The first punk song I heard, Night of the Living Rednecks, which is super funny, for me, because I lived in a town that was populated by pretty much rednecks. And also, the first punk song I heard wasn't even a song. It was like the last bar of a song, and then Jello Biafra just talking. And there was something about that I really identified with. And then he was like, "You've heard that? That's the appetizer. Let's get into the main course." And he puts in Collection 2 by the Misfits. And the first songs I remember listening to were We Are 138 and Attitude. I was like, what? This? It changed me for sure. Punk rock changed me. And had it not been for Tyson, and being willing to impart some wisdom to this little country kid, I don't know that I'd be the dude I am today. I don't think I'd be in jail or something. Punk rock didn't save me from jail, but I think it saved me from something. It opened up my horizons so much. And so after that, I just became on the hunt, perpetually on the hunt. I just started buying up punk albums. This looks cool. At first it was you buy every Dead Kennedys album there is, and then that you can find, and then you buy up all the Misfits you can find, and then it was they're on the same record label. Does that mean they're good too? And sometimes they were, and sometimes they weren't. The moral of the story is music changed my life, and it's crazy important to me. And I think this show is really it's about having dialogue with people about their love of music and what it means to them. And records is obviously super important because it's very important to me, but it's more about music and sharing and having those conversations and dialogue. It's that kind of thing that makes me so passionate. My passion manifests itself in the insane addiction to collecting records. I'm going to be interviewing people that I don't really know. I'm going to try and become friends with people, have debates, and have passionate talks about albums and times you saw bands live, and all these little things. So there's that. I'm going to also be playing music for my grandma and getting her take on albums that I really love.
But it creeps up on you, really a creeping thing,
And I love her. She's so rad. I'm going to try and get people to like share some I'm going to call them pro tips because it's funny, because everyone's like, pro tip, put your left shoe on your left foot, like stuff like that. So here's an example of a pro tip.
Here's a record collecting pro tip for you. Altoids, they're really good candy. You should eat them. After you eat them, put your 45 adapters in them, you turkey.
Hope you like that pro tip. And yeah, and then of course, you got to talk about albums. I've been wanting to do this for years at this point, and I think I've been recording episodes for maybe like 3 years. I think I've been recording episodes, and let's be honest, I'm self-conscious. I recorded this, just this first part, 7 to 10 times or something like that. That's not the same. This is it. This is the last one. I'm going to produce this one. Recent pickups. I love hunting for records. Coolio's Gangster Paradise. I bought this for like $2. Pristine condition. And it was so great to find this unexpectedly. I was having a really crap day, and I just stopped randomly at this place that normally just doesn't have anything. And I was about to walk out empty-handed, and I saw just this weird little shelf, and I saw a white label, and I thought, well, I'll take a look. White label usually means like a DJ copy or something. So I picked it up. Coolio, Gangster's Paradise. What a fun pickup. I'm a tremendously big fan of this cat named Dan Higgs. So I found these 2 albums, and they're pressed from a record company out of California called Gnome Life Records, which is pretty cool. They're really good albums. The pressings are just great. Packaging goes a long way, of course. Translucent, sea foam looking color. Awesome music. Check out Gnome Life. If you like anything that's kind of weird and off the beaten path, great record label. There's these dudes that I've known for a while. They're in this amazing band called The Twos, and they just recently came out with their album called Outer Sounds.
The outer sounds are coming in low. Got a $20 bill, better spend it slow. It's the last jar of drink, baby, let it flow. The outer sounds are coming in low. The outer sounds are coming in low.
Now, I like to support things I'm into, and I like to support people that are cool. And so when they announced that they were going to put their album out on record, I just sent them a message. I was like, I want to. They announced that they were also selling their test pressings. So I, of course, had to have a test pressing by a band that they're not only, it's not just that they're good dudes, because they could really be like dickheads or whatever. Their music's really good too, so that's very helpful. Yeah, they silk screened their own shipping packages too. So of course, being a nutty collector dude, I kept that and put it in the bag with the test pressing. And I think at this point, it's a kind of a prized possession because I know those guys so well, and they're great dudes, and I absolutely love their music. So Outer Sounds is out now. I actually helped them do a couple of music videos about a year ago or so, and man, I had a blast. That was an easy day at work, getting to film guys that are amazing musicians and just fun to be around too. So if you need to hear them, go see them live, because they're as good live as they are on album. Yeah, have a good day, and I'll catch you on the other side, I guess. There you go. I feel good about this. I don't know if I should or not.